Hi, welcome to another episode of Hot Takes. The SNP are under fire from, well, just about everybody, but the Scottish Tories in particular are launching into them, having caught them out in the most awful set of lies that they've ever told. When it was announced that they were going to start releasing prisoners to make room for more prisoners, I know, sounds mad, they confirmed that they would only be releasing low-level, low-risk criminals. You know, fraudsters, petty burglary, light-fingered stuff. Not dangerous offenders. No one with a dangerous offence would be released. That was what was stated. And that's turned out to be a complete and utter lie. But there's one category of prisoner which they said would under no circumstances whatsoever be released. They were sex offenders. And guess what? They lied again. Now, they're being blasted for this because it's been revealed, having been forced to explain, being forced to release the information. Again, if there's no such thing as freedom of information, no one would know anything, would they? But they've been forced to admit that, in fact, over 200 sex offenders have been released, including auras of women. Now, if you're one of these victims and you're thinking that your offender is supposed to be locked up, you walk down the street and there he is walking towards you, how are you going to feel? What's that going to do? The shock, the trauma that will cause. But in fact, the number is that 228 of these beasts have been released onto the streets. What is going on in Scotland that this is seen to be acceptable? Who's releasing them? Who's signing off on the release? That person needs to be jailed for endangerment of the public. Whenever these people are released, their release papers must be shown, and we must be shown who's signing off on the releases, so that that person can then be held responsible. And if these people go on to commit another crime, the person who signs that release stands in the dock with them. That, I think, would make it safer for the people. Now, these early releases are morally wrong. They've had ample time, ample warning, and, they just should have already built a prison by now. There's the new Glasgow prison, then there's the replacement Barlinnie, there was the brand new prison they were supposed to be building. It's supposed to actually be completed this year. They haven't laid one brick on another yet because, it's the SNP and they've got to dick around and change this and change that. And they're the wrong sort of lights. Oh, it's got to be green. No, it's got to be black. It's got to be a black hole. Single cells. Not quite enough to lay down straight. And that's what you put these people into, especially the sex offenders and the violent criminals. One of those released was a man who has been behind bars for 38 years, having been given a whole life sentence. And this whole life sentence should have meant his whole life, and he's been released. I'm not going to say a word onto why I think this is wrong. I think you all know. There are people that have come out of prison, been released, and subsequently committed more crime. Who'd have thought it? Recidivism. Hey, these people never heard of it. Well, the game's up. It's got to change. These people have got to go back into prison. Nobody for these crimes can ever be paroled. And certainly not at the whim of someone like Angela Constance. It's unbelievable. But she's deliberately doing this, and she is deliberately, knowingly endangering people's safety or even their lives. Let me know what you think. Thanks. Bye.